in 1 minute.
Hello and welcome back to unsquashable.tv and on our Facebook page unsquashable.com. You join us again for the AJ Bell ESF European Championships live here from the David Ross Sports Village at the University of Nottingham with me, lead commentator Josh Taylor. You join us now for the women's final just as the players are about to get introduced onto court.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, first of all, to the women's final of the 2017 AJ Bell European Individual Closed Squash Championships here at the University of Nottingham. The first player onto court is England's highest ranked player in the championships. Please welcome Millie Tomlinson. Final. She's an 8-time French national champion. She's the world number 3. Please welcome, from France, Camille Serme.
So I'm joined by my co-commentator for this, our women's final, Nottingham lad, former world number 91, Lewis Walters. Thanks for joining us, Lou.
How you doing, Josh?
So what do you think of this encounter? We've got Millie Tomlinson from just down the Brian Clough Way from Duffield up against the world number 3, Camille Serme. What do you think this has got in store?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good match, actually. I mean, obviously, Camille Serme finished last season really, really well. I think she won her first major tournament towards the back end of last season, and obviously at number 3 in the world. So it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle for Millie, who's she's ranked in the 30s, if I'm
yeah, that's
mistaken.
Right. She's just pushed up actually to world number 23, Millie.
Okay, right.
So
that must be her highest ranking to date. So she's obviously on an upward climb.
Yeah, definitely. I think Millie's showing some good signs across this event. Made sure she got through against some of the other sort of tricky opponents that were lying around in this draw. Yeah, Camille has had a good bit of form recently. She won the gold medal at the World Games not that long ago in Poland, and picked up a few titles at the back end in the second half of last season. She said earlier on in this tournament that she was looking to try and get the number 1 spot this season, and that was her strong aim. So she's definitely starting to show some of the signs in this tournament that it's a realistic height for her to climb.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if she's reached number 3 in the world now, so she's not got far to go.
No, only a couple of spots. It's the consistency at that level that's so key across the season to try and get the number 1 spot. Obviously in our men's final we've got Greg, who's had such a good 6 months to last year really, winning pretty much everything that's in front of him, and that's what it takes. I saw Camille and Greg practicing earlier on today, so she's got good people around her to get experience off.
Yeah, I mean, I think the French squad is a pretty well supported squad. They've always got their coach Renan Levine with them, and a whole range of sort of support staff in terms of the physio and the massage. So they're well looked after in the French camp.
They've really approached this event as well. They've been strong supporters of the event across a number of years, and they seem to have approached it with a real sort of team mentality. They've all supported each other across the whole event, and it's good to see really the countries approaching it in that way.
Yeah, and it's paid off. They've got French man and woman in the finals.
So in your time at Yale, obviously Millie studied there. You must have got on court with her a fair bit.
Yeah, so she was there. I think she graduated in 2013. So I was working there from 2012. So I coached her for 1 season, and yeah, we got on court quite a lot. And then obviously her main aim towards the back end of her college career was to go professional and move up the rankings, which she's done in the last sort of 3 years. She's obviously at a career high now of 23. So yeah, I know Millie really well. As well, being from Duffield, I sort of know her from juniors as well, as it's just down the road from Nottingham.
So have you got a score prediction here? What's your reckoning, Lewis?
As much as I would probably like for Millie to get the W here for England, I think it's going to be Camille Serme in 4 games. I think Millie might be able to sneak a game.
Yeah, I was going to go for something similar. I think for me, the signs that Millie showed at the back end of the matches that she's played in the lead up to this, where she started to use her skills a bit more, getting a backhand drop into the game, she's just practicing there. I think she can look to approach that a bit more earlier on in this match and use some more of the tools that she's got in her game. I think we'll definitely start to see her do better and better, and I think just trying to get her to use those earlier on. I think that's something that she needs to look at.
Well, she's going to have no pressure going into this as well, so that's going to help. I mean, all the pressure is going to be on Camille Serme. She's the 1 seed and obviously ranked considerably higher than Millie. So if there's pressure on anybody, it's going to be on Serme.
It'll be an interesting final, this. We were talking in the 3-4 playoff about the better quality lower down the women's tour, and it's definitely increasing a lot. I think the last 5 years has really shown that the quality of the women's tour is definitely going up and up, with more girls showing what it takes to win at this level. So this will be an interesting test to see the depth of the tour, see the difference potentially or potentially not between sort of top 5 and then around the 20s.
Yep.
Millie got England squash's Lee Drew in her corner. Saw them having a bit of a team chat at the start before this match.
Yeah, obviously Lee Drew, he's the national junior coach, and he works with a lot of the transitional players, sort of the 18 to 25-year-olds. So yeah, I think he does quite a bit of work with Millie. So they'll have a good rapport going, and she should be pretty comfortable with him talking to her in between games. Just see Lee Drew there gesturing to Millie's very animated with his delivery here.
Nice to see the passion in the corner.
Yeah, Millie has she's very sort of chilled out and calm person herself. She doesn't get rattled by anything. But I think she's going to have to go into this with, as you said, she's going to have to use her skill, and she's going to need to display some urgency right from the beginning. I don't think she's going to be able to just kind of cruise into this match and sort of expect Camille to give her points.
I had a bit of a chat with Millie just earlier before the match. She was saying, "You were taking the mick out of me yesterday for not playing enough drops." So hopefully she'll have listened, and we'll see some more earlier on.
Yeah. She starts to make mistakes, so that's on you. She'll be coming to find you after the match.
European Individual Close Championship 2017 Women's Final.
Millie Tomlinson coming in to serve. And France concerned for France to receive by the 5 games level.
So we've got Millie Tomlinson kicking off this women's final.
Nice dying length there from Camille, just matching the pace and the height on the front wall nicely.
Yeah, she's not hanging around, Camille. She was straight in with the aggressive length there.
Thought Naylor Gillis did well yesterday against Camille. For me, she should have put in a good performance against the world number 3.
Yep. Yeah, she's another player that's sort of been rising up the rankings steadily over the last sort of 6 months to a year. I think she's possibly at her ranking high as well.
Yes,
As you're saying, there's a lot more girls playing now, and a lot of girls sort of putting in the effort to try and get up the rankings, which is making the tour, the women's tour, a lot stronger anyway.
Yeah, I think the emergence of more equal prize pots and World Championships in December is the first to be held in the same city with the same prize money. Definitely is helping these girls to approach the game more professionally and
yeah, well, it's more incentive, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it allows the girls lower down the tour as well to be able to put in and invest in their game like they should be doing, and it's definitely showing over the last sort of 5 years. It's great to see, really.
So to Serme, 2 love.
Camille was a real feature, I thought, across her matches. There's been her ability to get around the middle and attack on the volley and pick things off very quickly.
Yeah, she's very aggressive around the middle of the court. She hits the ball hard. I think, if anything, like, she's improved over the last sort of is her short game. I think she's always good, sort of very athletic and hit the ball hard. But I think one thing that she's really worked on that's helped to move up to her career high ranking is her short game, and just mixing up the paces a little bit more.
Definitely, yeah.
Added another dimension to her game.
It's just adding those layers all the time. There's a nice backhand drop just showing that. Really just saying she just caught her opponent with a swing.
On the back swing there, yeah.
Yes, left. 2 love from the left.
Camille doesn't look too pleased about this.
Error on the serve.
Served out there.
Don't see that too much at this level.
No, she won't be happy with herself. That could be the nerves as well. I mean, you wouldn't expect a player of this level to serve out ever really. So that kind of just shows the pressure that I was talking about.
All the pressure is definitely on Camille in this final, and it's not always an easy situation to be in when you're the player which everyone's expecting to win, and the ranking gap and her form shows that, but often can allow some nerves to set in at the early stages.
Yeah, I think it's a tough position to be in, because it's kind of like if you win, you're expected to win anyway, and if you lose, obviously it's a big loss because of the ranking.
Yeah.
So I feel like in this position you've got a lot to lose and not that much to gain, really.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Nice hold.
Yeah, good change of angle there.
4-1 left side.
I think Millie's going to need to step up a little bit here if she wants to cause Camille any problems in this first game.
Yeah, Camille has definitely asserted her dominance around the middle of the court now. It's going to be down to Millie to use her skills and trying to use that lift there. Oh, it's beautifully finished off there from Camille. But I think the right kind of process from Millie in terms of trying to use some more height.
Yep.
Trying to mix it up to try and find a way of getting in front with a bit more control.
Better sister from Millie.
That's a nice pattern, that. Just following up an attacking drive with taking it in on the backhand side.
Backside.
Surprised she got let ball for that, to be honest. I mean, I didn't think Millie done much wrong there, and there's probably a line to the left of her, along the side of her.
Yeah, I thought there was a line to take, and I thought the pressure that Millie put on
1.
should have been on Camille to make the effort to go play that.
Yeah, I think Millie deserved that point.
See, switching out the iced coffee, Lewis, for a more hotter variety of
Well,
coffee
yeah,
today.
that wasn't by choice actually. They ran out of ice.
Oh,
Yeah, so didn't really have a choice.
just shows a hot day here in Nottingham.
Yeah, apparently they've been giving out all the ice to the players, at the squash and the netball.
Yeah, the netball seems to be hotting up. We keep hearing in the depths of the building loud cheers coming, so
Okay.
I think it's getting to the bigger stages. There's a guest appearance actually from Paul Scholes, whose
Really?
daughter was playing in the final.
Wow.
Yeah, I walked past him on the way in. Just a little bit starstruck.
Yeah. Wow. Was that today, was it?
Yeah, he's in today, yeah.
Wow.
I think Lee Drew managed to position himself nicely in the queue for a coffee, and because of the long queue, managed to get himself a 15-minute chat with the Manchester United legend.
Wow.
Not sure if he quite got him to sign anything, but
Yeah,
he seemed
no,
a bit
yeah.
fangirled.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you would be.
Big lead here for Camille, 9-1 in the first game.
Yeah, this is not the start that Millie would have wanted. I mean, in terms of the rally, she's not been doing too much wrong, but just the quality of Camille has just been a little bit too much.
It's definitely in the rallies, it's whether or not she can construct it in a way to open up opportunities. There really hasn't been too many chances for Millie so far in this first game
No.
to be able to attack and put pressure on.
This is better though, she's moving in now, she's getting opportunities, she's getting a little bit more time on the ball. She's just got to make sure she capitalises on these opportunities. That's a good ball from... Yep, there we go. Probably the best rally of the match so far.
Out.
Struck the error, but that was a much better rally for Millie.
Game ball.
Yeah, and that's the kind of rally she's going to have to put together. Rally in, rally out, to be honest. She's going to have to be playing like rallies like that consistently if she's going to trouble Camille.
Camille takes it 11-1 that first game. Bit one-way traffic really. As much as Millie was in the rallies, didn't look many opportunities for her to capitalise within them. Camille just looking to try and get the best opportunities to take the ball in and playing very effectively really. Go on then, Lewis, in your expert coach role, what would your team talk be for Millie?
I mean, she's going to have to get the ball into the back corners a little bit more and try and just get herself in front of Camille. I think Camille spent the majority of that first game around the middle of the court, and she was never really pushed deep into the front or the back corners. When Millie did get good balls through, then you could see she was starting to move Camille, but I think there was only 2 or 3 instances where she did that. And so she's really going to have to step up and just be a little bit more urgent with what she's doing, which is easier said than done because of the quality of the French woman.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the more Millie has used a variety, I feel she's got in front more and more in the matches, and I'd like to see her try and use a bit more height, a bit more mixture to try and get some time around the middle. Be interested to see how she comes out here, because she didn't do a hell of a lot wrong in that first game, but just didn't get the opportunities required to be able to finish it off. Nice to see the Lord Mayor has made a guest appearance for
Has he?
these finals, yeah.
That's good.
Pride of place in the middle of that back wall.
Oh yeah, you can see him, can't you, with his medallion there now.
Yeah, it's a
Nice,
nice necklace. Isn't it?
Yeah, nice and that. I think he wears that when he's at home.
Well, I think you only get it for a year as a Lord Mayor. It
Right.
rotates, so
Okay.
I think you use it for as much as you can
Yeah,
while you've
so
got it.
if you were mayor, then you would wear that at home, would you?
You know, maybe definitely on a Sunday.
Yeah. Just stroll around
Just go to the shop in it. You know, just
Sainsbury's with the necklace on.
yeah, you've got to wear the gong.
Right, if Millie can do anything in the second game. Camille takes a quick 1-love lead. Getting probably close to the outer court line with the serves, Camille. She's already served out once.
2-love.
It's actually incredibly difficult when the ball's high on this glass court to see, just because of how bright the lights are.
I was down there earlier and it is ever so bright as you look up, and with a white ball as well. It's very hard to pick out.
Yeah, it is.
But it does
Completely
create a
amazing.
really nice setting for the spectators, the
Yeah, I mean,
intensity of the light.
yeah, it looks great, especially with the black seating. The contrast is great. Really shows up well on the TV.
And that's 3-1.
Mixing the pace a little bit better now, Millie. With the good use of the height.
Starting to find herself in front at times. A bit more position.
Positions like that, I mean, she had a good opportunity there, and I think she needs to do more with those opportunities. Try and capitalise on that a bit more.
Yes, left. 3-1. Right side.
Rare error there off the racket of Camille Serme.
Yeah, I think that's probably the first mistake she's made. First unforced error anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, other than that serve,
yeah.
that's two.
Yeah.
But first mistake within a rally.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Good use of height there to get back in front by Millie.
It's always a good sign if you can count your number of errors on one hand, though.
Yeah.
That's a great touch. She does that quite a lot from that backhand side. Looks to show the drive and then uses her touch to take it in.
4-2.
Just forcing a lot of pressure on
Yeah,
the
and
English
gets
player.
onto this really early. See if we can come around to there.
Great angle that.
Yeah.
Nice lift. Just giving herself a chance to get back in position.
Yeah, it's a good rally from Millie. Forced the error there.
Oh. That's more like it, you know, good sign if you're forcing
3-4.
the player to lift out from the front, that you're starting to build some pressure.
Reverse post, you don't see that
Yeah,
much
that's-
on the volley.
Just trying to use all the variation possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shot commonly adopted in the Division 3 ranks around here, I've heard.
Getting a lucky bounce in the back there.
And out 5-3.
Really just going to need to put in a big burst here just to stay with Camille. If she could find this running away really quickly if she's not careful.
It's a nice cross court, just whipping it across her opponent. So using the drop from back of the court and the boast, using more attacking options. Got to follow those up. She takes them in though.
6-3.
What do you think to the technique of Camille's serve? Slightly different, isn't it? Especially on the backhand side, it's very flat.
Yeah, it's quite a flat backhand,
Yeah,
but
pretty close space.
it suits her style of play, I think, from there.
Yeah.
She's certainly got the dexterity in her hands to be able to take it in, as you see there on that drop. It isn't limiting her at all,
No,
I don't think.
No.
But yeah, it definitely flatter than most, isn't it?
Yeah. But like, especially compared to Millie, who's really open on both sides.
Yes, yeah.
Like, especially Millie really likes to open the face on her forehand side.
I think sometimes like that shot there, just a flatter racket sometimes just allows you to get a bit more power on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, gets the ball through quicker.
But certainly doesn't necessarily always give the control. I think just to open it up as she wants to try and use the strings.
Well, reverse space to get in there.
Maybe she misunderstood my take it in short a little bit more and she's got...
Yeah, I wonder if Lee Drew's telling her to play reverse both. I don't doubt it, but you never know.
10-3, game ball.
When the pressure's off, you can... And only you're phone and you can go for a little bit. But no, she's going to have to do a bit more here against Camille if she's going to get stuck in these games.
Out.
And we have it as our second game. Camille's still looking quite comfortable.
Yeah, I don't think he's not really troubled her yet. I mean, there's been the odd rally here and there where she's moved the French woman around, but in terms of the game as a whole, I think Camille looked pretty sort of assertive.
Yeah,
pretty dominant.
Camille was very much on top for the vast majority, wasn't she? And I think Millie's tried to do the right things. I think she is trying to lift and change the pace and trying to get in front and gain some position, but it's just trying to keep it simple as well. You know, it's working some simple options rather than trying to do too much when you do find yourself in front against these top players. There's just using the hands. See how she opens up the face? She starts flat, but
opens it up at the last
able
minute.
to open it up.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Just
takes a lot of skill to do that actually, and it is difficult to read from behind, especially for someone that predominantly hits hard from the front of the court.
Yeah, I think obviously that sets up for her opponent to see the long ball coming probably a bit more and then using her hands at the last minute to take it in. Yeah, I think Millie's tried to do the right things. I think just in going in short, she just needs to have probably a bit more of a simple plan, really. Seems to overcomplicate it a little bit. Whereas actually if you can build simple patterns of play and simple combinations that you feel most comfortable in under pressure, that can often be the best way to get reward against some of these top players. So we're going into our third game. See if Millie can pull one back here.
Yeah.
Stop this one-way traffic coming from the French world number 3.
Serme to love. Level.
So Camille serving at 2 games to love up after just 15 minutes of play in this final, women's final.
Just catching the corner there, giving away the stroke.
Yeah, I mean, I think Millie needs to try and score some points early on. The last couple of games, she's sort of played a little bit better when she's been behind, but by that point it's almost been too late because Camille's built up a solid lead. And then the pressure's almost kind of come off Camille and she's able to open up and show a little bit more skill and variation and just make it even harder for Millie. It's good there, this is a better rally.
Yeah, better combinations.
1-1.
Starting to show signs of what it might take to get a little bit more position and work Camille a bit more.
Yeah, that was again a slight hold, and Millie's already moving back 'cause she's expecting the hard low ball from Camille, and then Camille at the last second just dropping the racket head and the straight drop in. That was a wonderful backhand volley drop.
Nice tight length, dying into the corners. Gets Millie on the board at 3-1, 1-3.
Yeah, I'd really just like it, at the very least, Millie to just really try and get stuck in here, and even if she does go down in this third game, just try and make it as long and as hard as possible, and just make Camille have to ask some questions.
I think as well it's trying to learn as much from these situations as possible. You know, over the next coming probably 12 months, Millie's going to want to increasingly probably try and contend on the level that someone like Camille has been able to do so consistently. And learning from these situations in big finals and trying to take as much knowledge from it as possible, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Squeezing out of court there.
Foul 2.
What's your prediction for the upcoming men's final?
I think that's going to be really tight, this. I think both players have played really well. James is in good form. Obviously Greg has had an exceptional sort of 6 to 12 months. But yeah, I think that might end up going to 5, to be honest. I think from what I've seen from both players, they're both in good enough form for that to be a really good men's final. What do you think, looking ahead to that final?
Yeah, I mean, obviously James dispatching Borja Golan 3-love yesterday. He'd be really happy with that performance. And then sort of going into the match today, him and Greg have played each other so many times. They're similar age and played juniors, so...
Yeah, both 34, so both trying to get every last bit out of their career, I think.
Yeah, they've probably been playing each other for the best part of the last sort of 20 years. So
yeah,
they'll definitely know each other's game inside and out. But yeah, I think there's a good chance it's going to go to 5, and I think I want to say James might be able to sneak it. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. I'm going to just stay sat on the fence here. Quite comfortable.
Maybe just starting to work a few more options in. Camille's opened up now a 6-point lead in this third game. The title creeping ever closer.
Yep.
Millie not really making any inroads yet.
Next, first one she's got off that return of serve. She's played it 3 or 4 times, not had any joy. This is the first one.
Just clipping it out.
Again on that side wall, just...
And out 9-3.
That's a great straight drive. So often she's shown that drive and then opted for the drop, and instead that time firing it long. Opens up 7 match balls here, championship points. It's a great attacking base to take the title.
There we go, Camille Serme takes this. AJ Bell wins individual European title. 3 games to love.
I think that's a great indication for Camille ahead of this season. She's
Ladies and
looking
gentlemen,
in great
please show your
form.
appreciation. And I just ask Camille
We'll
to
head
come back on
courtside
court
with our tournament MC.
for her to reflect on that match and her 6th European title. Camille, you came here to win, and you won in style. Congratulations, it's a wonderful achievement, not just this year, but the consistency that you've shown. In your words, how would you describe that performance?
Obviously, I'm very happy with how I played today. I couldn't, play 90% against Millie. You never know what can happen if you, don't play your best. So I'm really happy I managed to play well the whole match.
You've achieved so much in your career. I actually remember the first time I ever saw you was actually in Nottingham. You played the British Open in 2006. I think you lost the first round of qualification. And what we saw there was a young girl sort of setting out on a career, but maybe a little bit uncertain in terms of what you could achieve. The things that you have achieved, does it surprise you? I know, because you always seem to be so calm and you always take everything, but every year you come back just that little bit stronger.
I try not to think too much about what I've achieved. Obviously very proud and happy to be the best French player, but it's a team effort. I thank all my staff, my coach, even my training partners, Colleen, and everybody pushing me to the next level.
It's difficult, it is a team effort, and they all play a huge part, and it's difficult to single out one particular person, but I think everywhere I've ever seen you play, there's always been someone in your corner, and he's here again today. I think you might have even been there in 2006, maybe a little bit greyer now, but I don't know, but he must be very proud, and you must be very proud that all of the trust and the effort that he's put into you, every day you're fulfilling for him and for everyone else.
Yeah, of course. It's a big chance for me to have had the same coach for 21 years. But I'm thinking as well of my family, my boyfriend, they're home watching, and they watch every time, everywhere I am in the world. So it's, I want to thank everybody.
When you set out, and this is the final question, when you set out, women's squash within France was on the map, but they didn't really sort of have that great champion. Thierry Lincou set the standard for the men, and people like Renan, people like Greg in particular, have followed that, and he's left an amazing legacy. Is that something that you would like to do, not just for Colleen, but for the future generations?
Yeah, of course. Thierry and Greg, they have been leaders in France and role models. And it's good, actually. One of the young French players, Elise, she's here to, learn more. And I hope it's gonna, make the younger French players, women and men, want to do the same and do as well as we do.
We really appreciate you playing this tournament. I know it's been a very, very tight schedule. You're going on to China, and hopefully the men's match won't be too long for you to miss your flight. But we really do appreciate, on behalf of England Squash, on behalf of the University of Nottingham, and in particular on behalf of European Squash Federation, thank you very much for supporting the event. Thank you for being such a great champion, and we look forward to seeing you next year. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Camille Serme. As I mentioned there, we are on a very, very tight schedule. The players will be introduced onto court at 10 to 5, and we will hopefully start the match exactly on 5 o'clock. So if you could please be back in your seats in order for us to present the players onto court. Thank you.
So thanks for joining us again on squashworld.tv for that women's final. Our men's final will join us shortly at 5 o'clock.